Hello. Today we're going to be using one prop for our practice, a rolled up blanket or a pillow. So if you want to grab that, if you need to pause the video, we'll start in a standing position, coming into mountain pose or Tadasana, grounding your feet about hip distance apart, little slight bend to your knees, standing up tall, long spine, reaching the crown of your head up, drawing shoulders down and back. We'll take a breath here, breathing in and out. Now take another deep breath in, this time bringing movement in, bringing your arms up. As you inhale, exhaling your hands to your heart and down to your sides. Take another deep breath in, raising your arms up. Bring the palms of your hands together and then lean over to the left as you exhale. Take a breath in as you come up and then exhale to the right. Take another breath in, bring your hands to your heart and down to your sides. Now take your rolled up blanket or pillow and lay it lengthwise on your mat. Come to sit first on the pillow and then lay down, finding a spot where your head is supported. And now open up your arms to the side like airplane arms and feel the openness across your chest. So take a deep breath in, starting from your belly, ribs all the way up to your chest, and exhale all the way down, chest, ribs, and belly. So you can keep your knees up or you can bring your legs long. Now place one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly. Feel your heart, feel your belly move as you breathe. You could close your eyes or just gaze at the ceiling. Resting here, paying attention to your breath, I'm going to read a quote for you. Take a moment to celebrate your breath. Each breath is free and there is an infinite supply. You will never run out. Each inhalation is an opportunity for a new moment. Each exhalation a chance to release the old. Each breath expands the interior, softens your resistance, and allows you to open wider. From your very first inhalation to your last, the breath defines the length of your life. It is a constant example of the perpetual exchange between inner and outer worlds. Now take a deep breath in and then let go. And then roll to your side. Take one more breath in and out. And then come to an all fours position. So you can bring your hands under your shoulders and then your knees will be about hip distance apart and we'll start to move with breath. So maybe moving from side to side, maybe moving forward and back. And then start to pay attention to what's going on in your body. Do you notice any stiff spots or sore spots? And if you do, be extra compassionate to yourself as you move through practice today. So you can continue moving from side to side and front and back, or you could start to do some cat-cow. So bringing your chin and tailbone up, exhaling chin to chest, bringing in your tailbone, rainbowing your spine, and then moving with breath. So breathing in as chin and tailbone come up, exhaling as you tuck in your tailbone, tuck your chin, rainbow your spine. And we'll do one more of those. Breathing in and out. And then come into all fours again. Now curl your toes. Draw your hips up to the sky, keeping your knees bent. Let your neck completely relax. And start to pedal your feet. And moving with breath. So one heel down and then the other. Breathing in and out. And then stand on your tippy toes of both feet, still keeping your knees bent if you'd like. And then just draw your heels to the ground, towards the ground, not to the ground. And then look to your hands, take baby steps up to your hands and take a halfway lift with a long, straight spine, stretching your neck towards the front of the room. And then exhaling down, bending your knees, letting go. Now press into the earth to rise up, bring your arms out to your sides and then reach up tall. Bring your hands to your heart and down to your sides. So take a full deep breath in, then draw your hands to your heart and forward fold. Tense your fingers, step your right foot back into low lunge, and then plant your hand, step your left foot back into downward dog. Breathe in as you come to all fours. Exhale, sink into child's pose. On your breath in, come back to all fours, and then curl your toes, bring your hips high and back to downward dog. Look to your hands, walk your feet up to your hands and come to halfway lift. Hinge and fold, and then press into the ground to rise up, reaching, extending, stretching. Bring your hands to your heart and down to your sides. So take another full deep breath in. Bring your hands to your heart, hinge and fold at your hips, tense your fingers, step your left foot back into low lunge, and then plant your hands, step your right foot back into downward dog. Breathe in as you come to all fours. Breathe out as you sink into child's pose. Take a breath in as you come into all fours, and then curl your toes, bring your hips high and back to downward dog. Let your neck relax. Look to your hands, walk your feet up to your hands and come to halfway lift. Hinge and fold, and then press into the ground to rise up, reaching, extending. Bring your hands to your heart and to your sides. Take another full deep breath in. Bring your hands to your heart as you fold, tense your fingers, step your right foot back into low lunge. Now plant your hand, step your left foot back into plank or plank on knees. Now lower to your belly, squeezing your sides with your arms as you lower all the way down. Rest your forehead on the mat. As you take your breath in, press the tops of your feet into the earth. Draw your shoulder blades down and back and lift your chest just a tiny bit. Exhale down, and we'll do that 2 more times. So lift your chest up as you breathe in. Draw your shoulders back, feeling the strength in your upper back. And lowering down as you exhale. 1 more breath in as you rise up. And exhaling, bring your forehead to the mat. We'll take 1 breath here. Now press into the earth with your hands to rise up to all fours and then curl your toes into downward dog. Lift your right leg up to the sky as you breathe in. First start by rolling your ankle one direction and then the next. And now make big circles with your right leg at the hip joint, opening and loosening. Place your right foot on the ground. Now look to your hands. Walk your feet up to your hands and come to halfway lift, straight back. Exhale, hinge and fold, and then press into the earth to rise up. Bring your hands to your heart and down to your sides. Let's do the other side. So take a full deep breath in, reaching, extending. Bring your hands to your heart, hinge at your hips, forward fold, tense your fingers, step your left foot back into low lunge. Now plant your hands, step your right foot back into plank or plank on knees. Now lower all the way to your belly, squeezing your sides with your arms. Press your hands into earth and maybe rise up a little bit further into cobra, but still keeping your shoulders down and back, so still feeling that strength in your upper back, but now a little bit of a stretch in your lower back. Take one breath here, exhale down. Take one breath here, and then press into the earth to all fours first, and then curl your toes as you come into downward dog. Look to your hands, walk your feet up to your hands and come to halfway lift. Hinge and fold, and then press your feet into the ground as you reach up, extending. Bring your hands to your heart and to your sides. Another full deep breath in, and then exhale, hinge and fold. Tense your fingers, step your right foot back. From here, notice your feet and place them in two different tracks so that your feet are separated. Now press into your left foot to rise up. We're going to come into a high lunge or a crescent pose. So standing on the tippy toes of your back foot, pressing your left foot into the earth. We're going to bring our arms up to the sky first. Now open your arms into cactus arms. Take a breath in, so drawing your shoulder blades back, opening up. Bring your hands in front of you, palms together. Let's do that one more time. So opening, closing. Now bring your hands down to frame your left foot. Step your left foot back into plank or plank on knees. Lower all the way to your belly, resting your forehead on the mat. Now press your hands into the earth to rise up. You can come into cobra, or you could lift your knees and thighs off the ground into upward dog. Lower down, resting your forehead on the mat. Press into all fours, curl your toes, bring your hips high and back to downward dog. Look to your hands, walk your feet up to your hands and come to halfway lift. Hinge and fold, and then press into the ground to rise up. Bring your hands to your heart and down to your sides. So take another full deep breath in. Bring your hands to your heart as you hinge and fold. Step your left foot back. And we're going to come into that high crescent pose again. So press into your right foot. You might have your hands on your hips to start to get your balance. And once you have your balance, bring your arms up, reaching, extending, and then come into cactus arms. Take a breath in, draw shoulder blades back to open up your heart. Bring your palms together in front of you as you exhale. Take another deep breath in, and then exhale, palms to the front, and then bring your hands down. Step your right foot back into plank or plank on knees. Lower down to your belly, resting your forehead on the mat. Now press the tops of your feet into the earth. Press your palms into the ground to bring your chest up as you breathe in, maybe lifting knees and thighs into upward dog, and then exhaling all the way down, resting your forehead on the mat. Now press into all fours and then curl your toes on your way to downward dog. And I just realized we didn't do the leg lift on the left side, so let's do that right now. So lift your left leg up to the sky, roll your ankle one direction and then the other, and then take big circles with your leg at the hip joint. First one direction and then the other direction. So place your left foot on the ground. Let your neck relax. Take a breath here. Now look to your hands. Take baby steps up to your hands and come to halfway lift. Hinge and fold, and then press into the ground to rise up. Bring your hands to your heart and down to your sides. So come to the front of your mat, standing in mountain pose. And we'll bring our feet about wider than hip distance. So your ankles are right about under your wrists. So from here, point your right toes to one side, bend your right leg at the knee, bring your arms out to the side, and gaze out over your right fingertips into Warrior Two. Notice the opening in your heart. So settling in, maybe placing a little bit of extra weight on the knife edge of your back foot, so feeling strength in your back leg. Now, as you take a breath in, flip your right palm and reach overhead into reverse warrior, so feeling length all along your right side body. Taking a breath here, and we'll come back to Warrior Two. Now place your left hand on left hip, right elbow on right knees, and from here, open up your heart. So draw your left shoulder blade back. You could bring your left hand up to the sky. Take a breath here. Maybe you could bring your left hand overhead, but only do that if you can keep your left shoulder back and your heart open. Now press into your right foot to rise up to Warrior Two. Once again, gazing out over your right fingertips, feeling the strength in your right leg. Now straighten your right leg, bring your hands to your hips, and we'll go right to the other side. So pivot your toes. So this time bending your left leg. Your back leg will be straight, your right leg straight. Now draw your arms out to the side, drawing your shoulder blades slightly back to feel that opening and length in your heart. Stretching arms from front to back. Now this time gazing out over your left fingertips, breathing in and out. Flip your left palm to reverse. This time feeling the openness all along your left side body. When you're ready to exhale, come back to Warrior Two just for a moment. Now place your right hand on right hip, left elbow to left knee, and come into side angle. Finding that alignment where you can keep your heart open. And if you find yourself, if your heart is to the floor, you could even come up a little bit, maybe placing your hand on your knee, but finding that opening, drawing your shoulder back. So whatever placement you're in, take a breath here. Now press into the earth to rise back up to Warrior Two, gazing out over your left fingertips. One more breath. And now we're going to cartwheel our hands down to frame. Left foot, step your right foot to meet your left and come to halfway lift. Hinge and forward fold, and then press into the ground to rise up. Bring your hands to your heart and down to your sides. So take a full deep breath in. Bring your hands to your heart as you hinge and fold. Tent your fingers, step your left foot back, but ground your left foot into the earth. Press into your right foot to rise up. You can come up first with your hands on your hips. And then bring your arms up overhead, keeping your shoulders down, but reaching your hands up. So now open your hands up into cactus, and we'll take a breath in, drawing shoulder blades back, maybe a slight back bend. Bring your hands in front of you, palms together. Let's do that one more time. Breathing in and out. Now bring your hands to your hips first. If it feels okay, you can clasp your hands behind your back. Again, if that's too much, you can keep your hands at your hip. Now, once again, draw your shoulder blades back, reaching up, opening your heart. And now we're going to hinge into devotional warrior. So bringing right shoulder to right knee and let your head completely relax. We'll take a breath here. Now press into your right foot as you rise up. Bring your arms up overhead. Now we're going to bring the left heel off the ground and then bring your arms to the side, and we're going to launch. So press into the earth with your right foot and bend your left knee and lift your left foot off the ground. So coming into an airplane pose. So once again, keeping your shoulders back, opening your heart, breathing as you hold the pose, feeling the wobbling in your standing legs, feeling those muscles working. And then you can place your left foot down. So just give a little shake. Place your feet so your feet are about hip distance apart. Press into the ground to rise up. Reach, extend. Bring your hands to your heart. And then hinge at your hips to fold. This time step your right foot back, grounding your right foot into the earth. Press your left foot into the ground to rise up. Bring your hands to your hips to start. And then bring your arms up and overhead, keeping your shoulders down. Taking a breath here. Now draw your shoulders back into cactus arms. Take a breath in, open your heart, exhale, palms together. Draw a breath in and out. Now bring your arms out to your side. Stand on the tippy toes of your right foot. Press into the earth with your left foot and then launch off with your right. So bring your right foot into the air. Balancing on your left foot, finding a position where you can open up your heart. Maybe your hands on your hips would feel better, or your hands to your heart, finding a position that feels good for you. And we'll take a couple of breaths here, balancing, opening. And then bring your right foot down. And we'll take a freedom breath here. Take a deep breath in. Bring your hands to your heart and to your sides. Another deep, full breath in. And we're going to hinge and fold. Plant your hands on the ground and come to all fours. And then we're going to first start by sinking into child's pose. Stretch your arms long. Take a couple of breaths. Come back up into all fours and find your way to your belly. Bring your arms out in front of you. Rest your forehead on the mat. And we're going to start by pressing feet into the earth. And then as you breathe in, bring your arms up, arms and chest up. And we'll take 2 breaths here and lower down. Now bring your legs, as you inhale, bring your legs up to the sky for 2 breaths and let go. Now we'll do both. So bring your arms and legs up, and then bring your arms out to your sides. You could place your hands on your hips, or you could clasp your hands behind your back. So drawing shoulder blades together, opening up. Take 1 more breath here. Now release your grip if you have it. Bring your hands out in front of you, so just rest your forehead on the mat or on the top of your hand. Take a breath here. Now press into your hands and then back into child's pose. Take a breath here. Really resting, feeling your heart resting on your thighs. Feeling how your body moves as you breathe. Now press into all fours and then come into a seated position. So we'll come with our legs in front of us into a V shape. So sit up tall, draw your arms up, and then we're just going to twist to the left. So still sitting up tall and just feeling a slight twist in your spine. Taking a couple breaths here. Now come back to center and then place your right hand towards your right toes. Reach your left arm up to the sky and then fold over. So keeping your left shoulder back as you stretch down, reaching, stretching. So stretching your side body, but also stretching the opposite leg. And I think I goofed up the left and the right. So whatever side you're on is perfect. So we'll come up and then we'll just do the opposite side. So twist to the opposite side. Sitting up tall, feeling both sitting bones in the earth. Breathing. Now come back to center. Bring your arms up to the sky and then fold over your leg. So feeling an openness and stretching along your side body, but feeling the stretching in the back of in the hamstring of your opposite leg. So breathing in and out, and then come back to a seated position. Draw your feet together. Take a deep breath in, and we're just going to fold over our front legs, our legs that are out in front of us. Having trouble with words today. So feeling the stretch in the back of your legs. Maybe noticing if there are any areas that are kind of creaky. I always have this little spot near my collarbone that feels creaky. So just working that out. Stretching in a way that feels good to you. And then come up to a seated position. And then we'll come on to your back. So just lower down in a way that works for you. Keeping your knees up, lift your feet off the ground, and then place your hands on your knees. So exhale as you draw your knees in, inhaling as you release. And we'll do that 2 more times, breathing in as you draw knees to chest, and exhaling as you straighten your arms. And 1 more time, and down. Now place your feet on the ground just so that your fingertips can brush your heels about hip distance apart. Now place the backs of your arms firmly into the ground. Press your feet into the earth and let your hips rise up. Now draw your hands overhead, arms overhead, and then bring your arms down as you lower your hips. So let's do that 2 times with breath. So as you breathe in, lift your hips up, draw your arms up and overhead, and then lower down as you exhale. 1 more time, arms up overhead, hips up to the sky, and then release your arms and hips to the ground. So now you can take your pillow or blanket, and we're going to start or end the class as we started. So finding a position where you can have support in your back, resting your head on that pillow, and just opening your arms out to the side first, keeping your knees, you could have them up or your legs flat, and just feeling that openness across your chest, coming back into your breath, breathing in and out, in and out. And then you can bring one hand to your heart and one hand to your belly, just like we started in class, and start to settle in. So feeling the muscles release and relax, noticing your heartbeat, noticing your breath in and out. Knowing that you can use your breath at any time to come back to this center, to come back to your heart. Knowing that you can use your breath anytime to take a few moments for self-care. And knowing that you can use your breath to always come back to the present, letting go of things that happened in the past, letting go of things yet to come. So rest here in your heart and just simply be. Now allow your breath to deepen. As you breathe more deeply, bringing in oxygen and energy, allow your arms and legs to start to find some movement. Take another full deep breath in and let it go, and then roll onto your side. You could use your arm as a pillow to rest your head, maybe drawing your knees up towards your chest to find a fetal position. Take a moment here in gratitude, thanking yourself for taking time for self-care. And then when you're ready, come up to a seated position. Draw your hands to your heart and take a moment here one last time to feel your heart, bringing gratitude to your heart that beats in and out every day, every minute. We'll take one last breath as a class together. Take a deep, full breath in and let it go. And I just remembered that I forgot to give credit to the quote that I read at the start of class. It's, now I'm spacing on it, Anadea Judith. Yay, I got it. Her name's a little bit hard to pronounce. Anyway, have an excellent day, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, bye.